guys, this is what the leaves will mulch down to. They're very fine right now, so I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna go and work these leaves into my soil. And what'll happen is over the winter they'll continue breaking down. A lot of worms will have a place to go and mate and eat and mate and drop. That's all they do. They eat and they poop. They eat and they poop. So they'll turn this into rich composted and with worm castings in it, and you'll have tons and tons of worms in your garden beds come spring. So gather up. If you're not gathering up leaves, you are missing out on a big resource that is so vital to making your soil so much richer, better. All right, and if you don't have trees on your property, get them from your neighbor. You know what I mean? Everybody say a lot of people just throw their leaves away, but we the smart ones don't. We take those leaves that God has given us to make our soil better, and we put them into our soil where they go. Just when the leaves fall down off the trees, they fall and they cascade around the trunks of the trees, and they're giving back nutrients to the soil, which gives life to the tree. So, and you can also go to parks and get leaves. So take advantage of those resources that you have there in leaves. I'll attest that there ain't nothing better than getting leaves and put them into your soil. They just make that, especially like when the people grow watermelons, they work a lot of leaves into the soil, and they, with the tractors, whatever, they run them in there and they make that soil so much better because they know the value of leaves. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a quick small coffee break, and then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna work this little bit. You see the pile, right, and what it turned into. So I have tons of leaves, and the leaves just started falling. So we'll be getting leaves, and we'll be doing this. We'll be working them into the soil, and we will also be mixing them with chicken manure and grass and everything else, and we'll be making compost over there in the chicken yard. So this is the best time of season for me. I enjoy the fall. I love when it's just starting to cool down, the leaves are falling down. When those leaves are falling, I see gold falling from the sky. Now, I spend the whole winter, I garden 247 around the clock all year. So now that things have slowed down a little bit in growing for me, because I'm not a big fall grower and growing certain foods and stuff. I do throw down some brassicas and a few little things there, but I'm not deep into actually growing the stuff during the fall. I love working on building the fertility in the life cycle of the soil. I'm constantly making compost, collecting chicken manure, sifting it and bagging it, gathering leaves. I mean, I get my own leaves, I get my neighbor's leaves, and if that's not enough, sometimes I will stop at my truck and I'll pick up a whole bunch of leaves, because I have this area where I can just, like in 5 minutes, I can fill up 6 or 7 bags real quick. So, and I'm constantly on the lookout when I'm driving. If you're a gardener, you're a homesteader, you're constantly looking. You should be looking for resources that can make your garden life much easier, stuff that you can put into your garden, and there's always stuff out there. So anyway, I'm taking this little small coffee break right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna work those leaves into the soil. I just love it come spring, and I just touch my soil and I see so many worms in there, and then the soil just full of worm castings, because that's all worms do, is just eat and make worm castings. You have to constantly be making or improving your soil. Constantly. You gotta make your own stuff if you can, you know what I mean? It's simple, and you should always be trying to make soil. I was watching Beauty in the Garden this morning, and she was talking about how expensive soil is these days, and how expensive fertilizers and stuff like that are. So if you can make your own with having rabbits, having manure, having chickens, having great manure, you know, and every other way that you can make soil, you should be doing just that, to make soil and to improve your soil. Because things are getting expensive out there, and it's getting expensive, and they're selling you garbage. I mean, you get some of these bags sometimes, then you open them up, the materials in there is a bunch of twigs and just garbage half of the time. So, and the stuff that you can make on your own is way better. It's way better, and you can make tons of it. This is, during the fall time and winter time, it's the best time to be improving your soil. You start doing that in spring while you're ready to plant. You know, the soil that you're making, it takes time in the soil to decompose and actually turn into something usable for your plants. And sometimes also the stuff that you're getting right from the store, and you're putting it down, and then you're putting your plants right into it, that stuff needs to, you know, worms and everything in the life of the soil needs to get in there and break that stuff down and make that stuff much better. So you might as well just make your own and be ahead of the game, right? Alright, so we're basically going to be working on this side here, and I'll do that side later when I break down some more of these leaves. want great plants. You want big plants. I mean, big plants, healthy plants with big root systems and root stalks on them, and big fruits. You got to make your soil good. If you're growing stuff and you're having small little fruits or any fruits at all, sometimes you're doing something wrong. And the issue probably is right with your soil. If your soil ain't right, your plants ain't right. And if neither one of those two are not right, you ain't right because you ain't getting nothing to eat. A lot of beginner gardeners, they quit on the game because they start growing stuff and they not doing it right, and they give up because they don't see any production at the end. And the production starts with your soil. Have everything right. Proper location to have your thing where you get plenty of sunlight. You need sunlight, you need water, you need good soil. And you need a gardener that's attentive to those issues. Always during the winter time, even if you don't have nothing in your garden beds, right? Always check on them because you don't want your soil in your garden beds to dry out. Remember, the soil is the life source of your garden. And if you don't have microbes and worms and everything else that the soil life has, they're working for you. If you're not feeding it and keeping them alive, keeping that soil moist, you're killing your garden. All right, there she is. I'll be finishing off doing the same thing to all the garden beds throughout the fall and winter, and just keeping your garden beds happy, and your plants will be happy. All right, so God bless. See you next time.